Hey, what's up guys? It's time to go over some more character balance changes coming at the end of April for Street Fighter V. The next character we're going to cover is Urien, so let's get started. So let's start with Urien's first change, which is his vitality. They reduced it from 1025 down to 1000 as it originally was in Season 1. I guess Capcom felt that this was a little overkill for Urien to have over 1000 health. It wasn't justifiable. He doesn't seem to have any mobility issues. He's got a lot of specials that can close the gap. He doesn't have to take any risks that other characters that have over 1000 health do because he's got long range normals, for example. In fact, he even has a decent projectile that he can zone with as well and combo from. Keep in mind that the characters that will have over 1000 health in Season 2 this patch will be Alex, which is a recent change. Birdie will have over 1000 health, but it did get nerfed down to 1025 in Season 2. And Zangief will have over 1000 health, the most health in the game actually, with 1050. So for Urien to be put in that spot is kind of odd out of those kind of characters, so I guess Capcom just reverted it back to the Season 1. So moving on to Urien's next change, his crouching medium kick. Advantage on block has been changed from +2 on block to -2. So another nerf. This means that Urien will be at a disadvantage now when the opponent blocks it. So this normal was initially changed in Season 2 and actually got a massive buff. It went from +1 on hit to +4 on hit. Which is insane. It means that he's now able to convert off of it. You can easily confirm into a crouching light punch, for example, and get some damage off of that. He can even do better if he gets a counter hit. He can go into like a medium normal, for example, and get even more damage. But that's not the main reason why it was crazy. What they also changed is it went from -2 on block to +2. So Capcom simply reverted the crouching medium kick on block back to -2 as it initially was. So this was one of the most requested changes for Urien, especially since there were so many long range normals that were nerfed in Season 2 by making them minus on block. A good example is Kading's standing medium kick is now -2 on block, or Rashid's standing hard kick is now -4 on block. A lot of characters with abusable long range normals were put into the minus range. But then you had Urien with a long range normal that also hit low, that also gave him advantage, so if the opponent blocked it, it was still Urien's turn. And he was even able to do a long range safe frame trap with it. He could do like crouching medium kick and hold a charge and then go right into EX shoulder tackle afterwards, and he basically just frame traps the opponent. If he presses a button, it'll hit him, get knocked down, but it was also safe afterwards. It just felt very low risk, high reward, and of course, if you manage to hit with it, since it's now +4 on hit, you can convert a light attack afterwards like I just showed you guys. I'm sure Capcom wanted Urien to have a threatening long-range low normal that can convert when the opponent's stuck in your Aegis Reflector. So for example, if you use Aegis and you use your V-Trigger, you know, Capcom wants you to have a threatening low attack that you can convert off of. So you can go crouching medium kick, and if it hits, since you're +4 on hit, you convert into something afterwards. So they didn't just want you to use crouching light kick, for example. So I'm glad that Capcom kept the +4 intact and they just went after the change on block. So I think it was a good choice. Alright, moving on to the next change, Urien's jumping light kick. They expanded the hitbox downwards, so this is a buff. Urien was given a cross-up attack in Season 2 with jumping light kick, but like most cross-up light attacks, the range is quite poor. So if I'm not jumping at the right angle, it'll just whiff entirely and just miss the character. But at the same time, I have to jump in really deep as well. Otherwise, because the hit stun on light attacks is very low as well, which means most of the time I have to convert it off of a light, for example. Or I have to jump in really deep if I want to get that medium conversion. But by expanding the hitbox downwards, like the note says, Urien doesn't have to jump in as deep as he does right now, which means I can hit the button earlier. For example, like here, it would probably hit Ryu after this change, which means that, you know, it's just a better cross-up in general, just more range. I don't have to be as risky to get anti-aired, for example, by a light attack, since I don't have to jump in as deep anymore. So just a better cross-up overall is what it means. Next up, we have Urien's EX Dangerous Headbutt. So they increased the recovery on whiff from 15 frames to 25. A lot of people didn't see this change coming. This means that if Urien's EX Headbutt misses, it'll take him almost twice as long before he can block or act or move at all. So considering that the typical uppercut or flash kick has around 35 frames of recovery, Urien recovering in 15 frames is pretty damn fast if you compare it to other characters with uppercut style specials. So this will give opponents a much easier time to punish Urien if he carelessly does EX Headbutt, which a lot of Urien players like to do, since it's a horizontal moving invincible reversal. There's also something else to consider, but I'm not too sure about this. Since Urien still takes, since he takes longer to recover, I wonder if this will make it so Urien cannot juggle afterwards, after the EX Headbutt, because now he has 15 frames less to act. So this is something we'll find out soon because the beta servers are starting. But if Urien can't act and can't juggle afterwards, then this will be a much bigger nerf than we think it is. And of course, the final change, Urien's EX Chariot Tackle. Everyone saw this coming a mile away. They increased the disadvantage on block from 0 to -2 on block. And on top of this, they reduced the pushback distance on block as well. This means that Urien is now at a disadvantage when the opponent blocks the EX Tackle. On top of this, Urien will be much closer to the opponent as well, making the situation even more unfavorable for Urien since he'll be closer. So looking how close he is right now, he's already pretty close to the opponent. Let me do it so he's outside of the corner. This is already pretty close, so I'm going to assume after the change he's going to be like this close. So even though it's -2 on block, that isn't enough for the opponent to punish it. Urien can still block the opponent's next attack. It's just not his turn. Unless, of course, like Zangief or Akuma's got a Raging Demon or a Zangief Super, for example. That's like instant. He'll get punished for that straight up. But this is a pretty bad number for Urien to be at in general, since he doesn't have a 3-frame light attack. Urien's fastest normal is 4 frames. So being -2 is worse than most characters. So for example, any character with even a 6-frame command grab, like Alex for example, will beat Urien if he tries to press a light attack right after Alex's command grab will win. A lot of command grabs are in the 6-frame side, and there's more command grabs at 5 frames. So if Urien tries to challenge with a light attack, he could be beat by like anything from the opponent if the opponent also challenges him. Furthermore, any character with a 6-frame medium attack or faster, a lot of mediums in this game around 6 frames, will beat Urien as well if he presses a light attack. So the opponent can punish him hard. They can use a stronger, slower normal, and even if Urien's using his fast light attacks, he will still lose. This means if EX Tackle is blocked, Urien is basically on the defensive now, and he has to be guessing what the opponent is going to do next. Since EX Tackle has excellent range, extremely fast, faster than an EX Sonic Boom, and causes a knockdown on hit, I'm sure Capcom felt it was best to reduce the risk reward, and honestly, Capcom didn't go on as hard on it as I thought they would, making it easier to stuff with the normal, for example, or just straight up making it punishable on block. So -2 is the safest I felt that Urien could get away with it. So my final verdict on Urien is overall nerfed. So even though Urien is definitely the hardest nerfed character in all of the April patch notes, his V-trigger, combo potential, and damage output remains unchanged. So his V-trigger didn't get touched, he still used 2 reflectors, he still has all of his setups that he previously had, his combo potential is still much better than it was in Season 1 with the double crouching hard punch, etc. And the damage output remains unchanged, especially if you reset the opponent. Even his standing hard punch also remains untouched, as that was another very common complaint, and Capcom still didn't change that, which many people feel that is the best crush counter in the game. I feel Urien still remains a top tier character, and Capcom did a good job keeping the core character Urien intact and fun to play. So, thanks for taking the time to watch this video, guys. Hopefully this has clarified a few things for you. Let me know what you guys think about these Urien changes. Are they justified? Do you guys like these changes? Will they make a difference? Don't forget to like the video, guys, and be sure to subscribe to the channel, especially if you're new, as I'll be covering much more character patch notes in the future. So, till then, guys, take care.